As hunting season fast approaches here in the Mohawk Valley, the state DEC is trying to figure out how a case of chronic wasting disease ended up popping up at this farm on Hayner Road in the town of Columbia. Highway employees tell me this truck was sitting right there in that garage bay when the fire happened. To save it, they pulled it out in spite the fact it had no right front wheel on it. They hit the side of the building in the process. What does Utica have in common with Chicago, Philadelphia, Nashville, Cincinnati, and Los Angeles? The answer, their fire department's ambulance is among the 10 busiest in the nation. Another meeting is scheduled for Wednesday. It likely will be the last chance for the Common Council to vote to override that tax cap. Otherwise, they'll have to find a way to cut $2.7 million from this year's budget. From City Hall, the demonstrations moved here to the Utica office building, where the demonstrators called on state leaders to make changes to ensure that a tragedy like this never happens again. It's a perfect storm for skiers at McCauley Mountain in Old Forge, a brand new ski lift getting them up faster, and the perfect amount of snow getting them down faster. You've probably seen a picture with a board like this one up on social media this time of year. It's a common practice on the first day of school. But the Oneida County Sheriff's Office says that some of the information parents put on these boards should be kept private. Tucked away behind the walls of the Capitol Theater in Rome is a relic of a bygone era, the pipes of the mighty Moeller theater organ.
It was built in 1928. Installed in this theater originally, and it's always a big deal if you have the original instrument in the original location, the original installation.
In the United States, there are 32 theater organs still in their original installations. The Capitol Theater is one of them. Like any musical instrument, even the organ needs a tune-up, which is exactly what David Peckham from Peckham & Sons Organ Company was busy doing today.
It's obviously an instrument that was not really designed to last 100 years, but we've replaced a lot of parts and replaced a lot of wiring and some of the leather, which was essentially holding the thing together all those years.
On Saturday, the organ will be accompanying a series of silent films as part of an April Fool's Day comedy show. Pierce says that silent films were why the organs and all of their bells and whistles were installed in theaters.
It was built specifically to accompany silent movies. It can also be used as a solo instrument.
Saturday's film will feature a familiar organist and will be the first time a silent movie has been featured outside of Capitol Fest in 5 years.
We will have a live organist in Avery Tunningley, who's played the organ here quite a bit. He has not played here at the Capitol for about 5 years, which is actually the last time we did a standalone silent movie show. We do silent movies as part of Capitol Fest, our film festival in August, but the last time we did a standalone show was 5 years ago.
You can buy tickets for tomorrow's April Fool's Day comedy silent movie at the Capitol Theater box office in Rome. Ben Kinne, News Channel 2. It was just before 10:30 Monday night when officers were called to a home in Oriskany after a resident called 911 to report an unknown man had followed them home.
The individual in question, he had pulled into a driveway, and random driveway. He did not know the people there. They did not know him. He was attempting to leave, I guess you'd call it a gift or an item at their home.
That individual, Jeremy Kirch. According to court documents, he told deputies he was led to the house by God and stated multiple times that he was following a trail of American flags that led him to the house.
The people felt very concerned about that. They just said, here's someone at our residence who we have no idea who he is, and he's leaving something on our porch. And we responded. Deputies interviewed him. Again, there was no indication of any suicidal statements, homicidal statements. Just basically, he was leaving a gift for these people.
Kirch told deputies he lived with his girlfriend, Elizabeth Gerling, at a home on Birch Circle in Marcy. Deputies then contacted Gerling, who said that Kirch had been at a festival for the band Fish in Delaware, and noted he had been acting strange recently. Gerling told deputies she believed it was connected to a traumatic brain injury Kirch suffered in 2020. On Wednesday, the sheriff's office filed an extreme risk order of protection against Kirch. The reason?
At some point in the morning, while our investigation was going on at the house, it was brought to our attention that there may be a firearm that is missing from the house.
The ERPO allows the sheriff's office to search Kirch's truck and home for the missing firearm. It also prevents him from purchasing one in the future. The combination of the factors surrounding the case, including that missing firearm, led to the ERPO being requested and approved. The sheriff's office is still asking for anyone who may have seen Kirch's truck and camper to give them a call.
I mean, we're specifically concerned with Tuesday and Wednesday, but if someone has seen it prior to that, certainly we ask that you give us a call, 315-765-2226. Obviously, all information will be kept confidential, but we're just trying to piece together a complete timeline because obviously this case involves unique circumstances, and like I said, we're just trying to put together a complete timeline.
It's a sound that will soon become familiar to many in downtown Utica. On Friday morning, Mercy Flight christened the heliport atop the Wynn Hospital parking garage as a test to help pilots get a feel for the new helipad.
Obviously, they had a good day for that today, and you know, weather's going to play a factor no matter what the situation is, or no matter where the landing would take place anyway, and whether or not they can get off or you know, from wherever.
The delayed opening for the parking garage meant the opening of the heliport was delayed too. If patients had to be flown to another hospital from the Wynn, they'd be brought by ambulance to the former St. Luke's helipad.
All of that seems to be now in good working order. I mean, we're still, as we have a few issues to button up with the garage, but it appears that after today's test flight and you know, seemed to go very well.
Further delaying the heliport's opening, approval from the Federal Aviation Administration. With the completion of Friday's test, that benchmark may not be too far away.
All indications point that it went smoothly, so we'll just wait, and you know, once we get the green light, then you know, the hospital obviously can begin accepting, you know, patients that or transporting patients, you know, that need be.
Pesenti says more test landings will take place at the heliport in the coming days. Reporting in Utica, Ben Kinne, News Channel 2.
I've been through earthquakes, they've done damage, but nothing like this. This is a whole new level of destruction.
Barney Berkman was home with his family in Rome on the afternoon of July 16th when his phone notified him of that tornado warning.
By the time I got to my phone and saw that it was a tornado, all I could think of was grabbing my daughter out of her high chair, telling my wife to head to the basement and go into the basement for my whole entire family.
One of the hardest hit areas was the city's south side. Homes like this one completely destroyed, others having their roofs completely torn off. Some can be rebuilt, while others can't.
There's a lot of residential around here, and it's damaged bad. There's houses people can't even move back into because of it.
The Berkmans were able to make it to their basement safely with just seconds to spare.
We had enough time to get from one side of the room to the other when one of the windows shattered right behind us.
Out of the destruction and the chaos, the community banded together to help one another, bringing a bright spot to one of Rome's darkest days.
Everybody was more concerned about the other people when we first came across them. The first words out of everybody's mouth was, "Are you okay?" And same with us. And the community has been helping out everyone with things like diapers for anyone who needed them, and food for people who didn't have the power, and several trucks came by with water.
Reporting in Rome, Ben Kinne, News Channel 2.